If it's undercovered, underreported, or a waste of time, you can be sure we'll be heard. Nothing is off limits.
Welcome to Broad Street Radio.
Welcome to Broad Street Radio. I'm Michael Morris. With me once again, Joe Reinier. Sorry, Joseph Reinier, Esquire.
Thank you, Michael, for getting that right.
I got a lot of compliments last time that you were here, mainly just on the promo that we cut. And
Okay.
I would encourage people to see that.
Okay, yeah, they should see it.
It was a teachable moment for all of us.
It was on microphones.
I broke the microphone stand. I also want to say that Nate is on the ones and twos back here. Nate, let people know that you're here.
Hi.
That's all we need out of you.
Yeah, we have visual confirmation he's here.
Yeah.
For the record,
Did you see Top Gun?
I did see Top Gun.
Okay. I feel like Nate is the guy on the cruise ship that literally goes, "They're out of range, sir." And then he doesn't say another thing. He doesn't have another line.
Right, and there's a lot of consternation.
Like,
and
why
then
did you
what
even
happens
write
if-
that? Like,
Yes.
somebody took the time to go, we've got to have somebody talk.
Should we edit that out? No, let's leave that in.
Imagine that's your only line, and they're
Yes.
like, hit the cutting room floor. Sorry, that's
We're
the
out of range,
shits.
sir. How's that in the credits? The we're out of range guy?
Would you bring your family? Would you bring your family if you're like, I have one line in Top Gun?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Do you get invited to the red
That's the
carpet?
only reason I'd bring them.
Well, do you not have a lot to do with your family, buddy?
Well,
Like, I would take care of the kids that I think I have with other women.
right.
I would bring
Allegedly.
them to that and say, look what daddy is doing that he's not paying you.
Yes, look at all these children that I care about more than you. And right.
Well, speaking of children
Okay.
being mistreated and just people in general, the LIV Tour, I know that you play the golfs. Right?
I play the golf hardly ever, yes, but I'm aware that there's a
but you've
sport called
seen
golf.
it.
Yes.
You're
I've seen golf.
aware of the sport.
I have.
And I would say let's give a little background. So again, if somebody missed out, we've known each other 30 plus years.
Correct.
You played sports in high school. You wore a singlet
I did. I'm wearing one now.
in high school, out of high school.
Yes.
It's awkward. But you enjoy sports.
I do enjoy sports.
Do you have a problem with the fact that PGA, and that stands for a Producers Guild of America,
Yes.
golfers are going to play on the Saudi Arabian tour? Do you have a problem with them leaving the PGA to play for the Saudis?
No, because I really don't care what they do. I mean, they could do whatever they want. But
That's been Broad Street
however,
Radio. We'll talk to you. What?
So the LIV Tour. That's
Terrible name.
The live Free or Die Hard.
Yep.
If you're a journalist, right? Is that what the tour?
I do think it's a funny name when
Yes.
you assassinate journalists and you call
Right.
it the LIV Tour.
Yeah, but they didn't spell it correctly, so maybe that was part of.
Well, they
maybe
don't
it's
really speak English.
I mean, they're great with irony and satire too, so maybe that's what it was all about. But yeah, it's interesting that they're going to play just everything that's happened in the past few months with that, with Mickelson, and maybe they killed a journalist or something. I don't know. People kill people. People murder. Was this like Terrell Pryor?
These things happen.
These things happen to those in the free press, and somewhere where there really is no free press, if there is anywhere. So,
Did you also find it funny that it was the announcement for this was made during Pride Month? So they are anti everything that is going on in this country. So all the hoopla that we, everybody gets a day, like a tree that wants to be a giraffe gets their own day.
right.
And yet during Pride Month, they're over there where they're stoning people to death for that kind of thing. But you have multimillionaires that are joining this tour
Yes.
because, and part of their excuse is, I don't want to play golf my whole life. Dustin Johnson said that. Now I don't watch golf either, but I do like the business aspect of some sports that I have nothing to do with.
Right.
And when he said, I don't want to play golf my entire life, so I'm going to take $20 million a year from the Saudis to be over here. I don't know if that's unpatriotic or if that is capitalism at its finest.
Right. Well, I did find it funny. I was rolling on the floor laughing when I read that. And, again, it's just that capital free market. If he wants to go, I don't know what kind of backlash this is going to, we know the backlash initially, but once it actually, I think the first event is this weekend.
Is this
that
weekend?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I probably should have read up on them more. I think they're still able to play a lot of the majors because I don't know if those are PGA sanctioned. They're not PGA events.
So if you win the Masters, it's a lifetime exemption.
There you go.
So you get to do it as many times as you want. You win the
Even
US.
if you play golf for murders.
Yeah, like you can be in prison.
Okay.
Like, who's a famous prisoner? Let's say the Menendez brothers both get out and
OJ.
they go to Q school.
Okay.
Well, OJ didn't go to jail for OJ went to school, or he went to jail. I said school.
Yeah.
He went to jail for stealing cable, not for aerating his neighbor and his ex-wife.
Aeration, yes. That's what happened.
He didn't go to jail for that, but if OJ could qualify and he wins the Masters, he gets to go for the rest of his life. U.S. Open is only 10 years, and then you have to win it again to get that exemption.
Okay.
What's funny about it is that these guys are leaving to go play over there, but the PGA can't suspend them for it. So if your company had a golf outing and they decide they want to golf in that versus going to Tulsa, they can do that. The PGA can't suspend them.
Well, that's interesting. And, as far as them going over there and playing, is this going to be televised? It's probably Fox, right?
Well, so they offered it. The Saudis, again, really good people. We're not saying anything bad about them, but we are saying something bad about them. They offered it for free, and no network would take it. So it's going to be on YouTube.
They are charitable.
Yes.
This is fantastic.
What I think is going to happen as of today, as of this recording, Bryson DeChambeau and some other white guy that's a big name, they committed that they're going to play in it. And what I think is amazing about it is that it's almost like we're going to let you take the backlash in the beginning, and then we're going to jump on board. You know what I mean? So now now it's like, oh, you guys got shit on. Now we're ready to jump in. I think it's amazing because what they're trying to do, you know who set this tour up? Greg Norman.
Right. I love that dude.
Yeah. What was the thing about Greg Norman? He lost, was it the Masters where he had
lost the Masters 30 for 30 allegedly. I looked for it the other day, but I'm not very good with the technology. I couldn't find it, but I really.
Did you try to find it on your flip phone?
I did. I had to move the rabbit ears, but yeah, he set it up. I think each player gets one mulligan. If there's like a murder or something, you can murder one journalist or person or something, and then
is it independent journalists? Like we are technically, the three of us right now are doing journalism.
Right. I think there's a knock at the door
Azerbaijan.
Right now. You did lock that door, right?
Yes. Well,
okay, very
Nate,
good.
why don't you explain why we have to lock the studio door while we're recording?
Because there is a driving school next door, and all the teens will just open this door instead of the door that says driving school. Oh.
When we're not recording, do you leave the door open for the teens to come in?
No, I do not.
Okay. That wasn't an accusation, but he is a lawyer. I would hand out some business cards next door is all I'm saying to you.
But I am a great driver too. I mean, we could teach them a thing or two. Why not? I mean, there's a lot of downtime between these shows. Is there not? Just start.
Right now, there's about 148 hours in between shows, yes. So we have plenty of time to catch up.
Downtime.
Yeah. I was thinking about this LIV tour, and again, I don't care about golf, but what I do think is funny is that the person who is the public relations person is Ari Fleischer. Do you recall that name?
I do recall that, but I thought it was
former White House advisor who basically was saying, yes, we've killed some people over there, but it's not like you think it is.
Yes.
We killed some terrorists and 80 children. He's the one fielding the questions about this ultra controversial subject. You couldn't pick a better guy. What I think is funny is you're taking money from the guys that you were saying are bombing. We should be killing all of them.
Right.
And now you're the main guy that they're like, you know who we need? Get this guy on our side.
That guy, that won't call any attention to this. I actually thought that was a margarine. Ari Fleischer.
It's delicious. Fabio used to do the commercials. I can't believe it's not Ari Fleischer.
Right. But I can't believe it is Ari Fleischer promoting the tour.
The first time I was reading an article, I read the article, I'm like, how funny. There's two guys named Ari Fleischer. Yeah. And then when I looked at the video, I'm like, what is he doing there?
What are the odds?
That's like sending Charlie Manson to speak for the California Police Department.
What, was Tip O'Neill not available or something? I mean, anyone else from the Reagan cabinet? Like Doc Brown now or something.
I don't know what's going on, but at the same time that Biden is begging for oil reserves from them,
yes,
they are taking our best golfers over there and giving away for free. And I just thought the world is really falling apart.
Yeah, is that a 1-for-1 transaction? I don't know about that.
I would trade Bryson DeChambeau right now for $4 gas.
Right. Right.
Because they
can have him.
Did you fill up today? This will be dated because by the time this comes out, it'll be $9 a gallon. But what'd you fill
no
up?
Dummy. I fill up like $1.50 a day. It's like $1.50 a day, and that's
I
what
did see that on Facebook. You
Yes.
literally got $1.20 worth of gas.
Yeah, and I cannot. The last time I bought a quarter tank of gas, it cost like I don't know, like 75 cents, and it cost me $1.50.
MAGA.
I mean, this is we're building back better.
Are we
Feels
building
good.
back better?
Yeah. Feels
What are we
great.
building, by the way? Debt?
Debt. Yes, let's build debt. Again, I don't drive. I don't have a vehicle. I think I've been over this with you already.
That was the most fantastic part of all
Yeah.
this is you're saving money by not having a vehicle.
Right. It's actually like I only did a gallon because it's sort of like a little moped, but it's actually the one where you pedal it, and if you get a little tired, you can kind of kick in the.
You do have
motor.
people can't see over this table, but you have massive quads.
I do have massive quads. Thank you.
I don't
for
know why
noticing,
you're
Michael.
wearing such tiny shorts. I have a question, Nate. You still have contacts in California, right?
Yeah.
Have they been telling you what they're paying in gas, or are they all hanging by a noose because they can't afford to live there?
I don't know. I haven't seen any posts.
I heard
in a
gas
while, but-
was over $7,
Yeah, that's
like in
what I've heard.
Sacramento and all that,
Yeah.
which is your own fault for living in Sacramento.
Contacts in California. I mean, what's going on there?
Nate used to be in the pornography business.
Okay.
Not as a director. He used to be an actor.
Okay.
He was just the guy that was like, I came to fix your sink, and then they'd bring in the stunt cock.
And by used to be, you mean like 9 a.m. in the other room?
Yeah. Well, we've moved it here.
Right.
It's a better distribution channel if you want to get to the
Yes.
East Coast.
All connected with the driving school. We get it.
That's right. We're
We
teaching kids how to
understand.
drive to Pennsylvania from here.
Yes.
Just put these DVDs in the back. I feel like we verged off there. I just wanted to talk about gas prices real quick because I find it funny that we are so now reliant on Saudi Arabia that at the same time Biden's traveling there, we've got golfers there who are being paid. I think Phil Mickelson's getting $40 million,
Is that it?
and there's only 8 events. It's not all in Saudi Arabia, obviously, but how do you turn that money down?
Yeah, I think he might owe all that to the federal government, though.
You know, he lost $40 million in gambling,
Right. I mean, that's.
and he has a daughter out of wedlock in Akron. Those are two. Look that up.
Who doesn't have a daughter out of wedlock in Akron?
Hunter Biden.
that's-
His are down in the South.
Right.
Can we also point that out? Do you have a bigger problem? Nate and I were talking about this morning because he
Yes.
asked me if I watched Winning Time about the
Yes.
Lakers on HBO. And I said I didn't want to watch it because when we were kids, you had Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson. And to me, it was like those guys were infallible.
Yes.
It's not like today where somebody's a big star and they can't wait to tear him down. When Magic Johnson was talking to Barbara Walters and saying he was having relations with 12 women in an elevator one time, it made me start to look at it like they're just like us. It was kind of like the end of an innocent time.
Right. Yeah. Don't meet your heroes. Right.
Yeah.
12, that's a little obnoxious, but
I just think that you can't really love a woman or 6 at a time. You know what I mean? Like, how do you pour your soul into that?
it's difficult.
Oh, have you done it?
Well, I play the Aerosmith soundtrack, specifically Loving an
Oh,
Elevator.
the one from Armageddon?
Right. That's that one.
I thought you meant that I don't want to close my eyes thing.
That was the love song of 1998. And
Did you listen to that when you were dancing at prom? That would have been,
did.
you would have been 22 at the time.
Right. I mean, many a panty dropper for 1998. That was mainly because I bumped into the table at Kmart. But
Well, you got to tie those things.
you
Rose
do.
goes in the front, big boy.
You do. Right. Right. It gets confusing.
I do want to bring this up just because we have a history. Do you remember when we were in high school and there was, I'm not going to say his full name. I don't want to get sued by you as a lawyer, but there was a 22-year-old person that was at the prom with a 16-year-old.
I don't.
That guy he is the Lou Gehrig of going to proms.
I mean, that's impressive. That is impressive.
But imagine you're the parent. So you have children.
I do.
And you talk to at least one of them.
At
Imagine they are dating. Goes back to Kelly McGillis.
right.
Your son or daughter is Maverick, and this person shows up to take them to the prom, and they're Kelly McGillis. How happy you're going to be about
Yeah.
that?
I mean, did they know ahead of time that this was happening? So this is the perfect
You mean
time.
Kelly McGillis?
Yes.
Okay.
Where dad gets the gun and he poses with the folk and he kind of
It all comes back to guns on the show.
Yes. Back. Yeah. So no, that's amazing. I think I need to hear the rest of that story. And why didn't I know this when I was say like 20 or 21?
I
What
only
happened?
remember it because my dad was dropping me off.
Was going to prom with a 16-year-old.
My dad was a chaperone, and
Yes.
he went with a 13-year-old, and
It's more appropriate.
that was my mother. But I remember him seeing Brian walking in a tuxedo, and he pulls me aside and goes, "Why is Brian here?" And I said, "I don't know. He's just always at prom, and he's always with a 16-year-old."
He's been here the last 10 years.
His name was Jerry Lee Lewis. I don't know how I got on that subject from gasoline to that. Oh, we were talking about prom.
Yes.
Point being, I think that our country used to be a little bit more uptight about things. Oh, I know what it was, the Magic Johnson thing. Don't meet your heroes. I think we learned too much about these guys. And when you learn that Phil Mickelson blew $40 million, like to him, what does it matter? But when you hear that number and the rest of us, I mean, Nate's borrowing my shoes just to walk around while I'm doing this.
Right.
We're all hurting in this country. And you hear somebody lost $40 million and is getting, I quoted the number wrong. It's over $100 million he's getting for the Saudi league. Doesn't matter if he wins or not. They're getting paid win, lose, or draw.
Right.
That's where I think you got to step in and just kind of go, do I think there's something wrong with doing business with the Saudis? I don't know. We've been bombing them back to the Stone Age for 30 years. So they should get something out of it. But I also look at it as somebody that watches sports. Do I want to participate in it? Do I even want to see that?
Yeah. It's as far as like morally or ethically, there's obviously some issues here. Now, I don't have any moral issues as a
that's why
Browns
you're on this show.
As a Browns fan. I mean, I'll be waving
gonna
the
get into
flag
that.
this fall for sure. But it's going to be interesting to see what the backlash is. They were going to give Nicholas like $100 million or $200 million or something like this,
just come and hit the first ball, and then
just to
go
be the face of it. I guess good for him for not taking that, and I know that kind of pissed Greg Norman off, but I guess he'll get over it. But
well, they were going to offer Tiger Woods money. There's just no Waffle House waitresses over there for him to bang, so he's not going to go.
I mean,
does that mean that Tiger Woods is racist because he won't play for the Saudis?
I think it does. I think that's exactly what that means, Michael. I'm glad you've brought this to light.
I don't know if anybody remembers
finally
the two dates in this country, and I'm not talking about D-Day, 9/11, and January 6th. Do we have no more moral compunction around here? Do we not still hate people? Like, aren't we supposed to be mad at the Saudis? I'm not personally.
We should be mad at the Saudis, and I guess as far as obviously they're making money from the sponsorship if they're not
that's the other thing.
Broadcast rights.
No. That's the thing. This is literally they're just throwing their own weight around. There's no sponsorship.
They're like, by the way, we have a shitload of money from the oil, and
that's what it is.
We're just going to make sure everyone just is aware
knows
of it.
Yes. We just want to make sure that you know we have money.
Yeah, it's a little heat check.
But that's what, yes. So what I'm saying about this is they are literally taking the money that we are begging to buy this oil at $128 a barrel as of today. And then they're turning around and giving it to these golfers. I think almost to like thumb their nose at how much money they have and how backwards we are.
Yes.
Because they want to give the event away for free. No sponsorship. Who cares? And I just think it's amazing that in these times, that's happening.
Can we just buy a barrel? Can we do that? That sounds actually cheaper than...
We could, but who can afford to buy a barrel? Not of gas. Where do you get a barrel?
It's like a bourbon
Nate,
barrel.
Google barrels. Find out how much a barrel is. He said no. He shook his...
No.
That's why I have him here. He's technically my research guy.
I think we should purchase commodities in barrels much more than we do right now. We're not doing that enough. I do like the bulk candy aisle. I do. Those are kind of more mini barrels, but yes.
Well, they're good for energy.
They are.
And we're energy independent at that point.
We are.
For a short period.
Little honeys. I love those.
So you're a big Ohio State fan. If you knew a kid killed somebody, but they were like the best quarterback in the nation.
Yes. Would
you like overlook that and just go, yeah, I'm okay with this?
What's his QBR?
well, let's say he's in the 121 range.
Okay. Who did he kill and why?
He killed a bunch of school children.
Oh, back to that now.
But in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, okay.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Yin and yang.
Yeah, I think I'd have my...
Could you root for that?
I'd have my scarlet and gray boxers on for sure. Yes.
I do want to ask this question when it comes to money also, and I'm glad you brought up Ohio State, which you didn't. Ryan Day, again, this is money being thrown around, says to a bunch of boosters, Ohio State needs $13 million annually. Mm-hmm. I said annually before you look at me that way.
Yes.
To compete with the Alabamas, Georgia, Auburn, all those other schools. Do you like the way that sports are going where you can buy a championship essentially?
No, not particularly. The NIL money and that sort of thing, that is, I find it all very odd. I mean, at what point is this going to be more of a professional league? Of course, we know the coaches are getting paid handsomely.
Well, they're also educators. Remember, Urban Meyer used to teach a class in civility.
And there was Real Life Wednesday, and I think he taught like a real life class at the one bar. There was an establishment that he taught.
At his bar, he was trying to teach sex ed to a woman that didn't know who he was.
Right. She had no idea who he was. But so as far as the universities go and Ohio State and college football, I've been telling friends about this, and they're like, "Who are you? And why are you talking to me?"
This isn't your bus.
This is not your bus.
Yeah.
We had to keep it up 50 miles an hour. I mean, whatever. So, just where college sports is going in general, it's no longer appealing to me. Really, it's losing appeal. I'm the get off my lawn, and specifically get off my grass field, because I need my grass field. I don't want to watch them play like on, it's like just like FUBU turf or something. Like, I don't know what's going on out there. And now that we're just paying players, which I understand that. I understand the market, but it's, what do we have? A handful of teams. We have Ohio State, we have Alabama, we have Georgia.
Well, really, if you took the whole take the whole SEC and peel out Vanderbilt,
right?
Okay, Vanderbilt has money, but the people that have money don't care about the football team. So then you're going to have Ohio State. How does this affect Purdue or Illinois? Like, Illinois is probably the worst one, because it's kind of like in no man's land. Not the city, but it's like Champaign is so detached, whereas Ohio State is in the middle of Columbus. Like, everything is built out from that.
Right.
But if you're at Northwestern, you got to get a 4.0 to even go.
Right.
How are you going to get enough guys that are that bright and then pay them $2 million to go there?
Right. Yeah. So we're to your point, probably at the beginning of the end there. There's going to be the mega conference. You're probably going to handpick a few schools from each conference, to compete. There might be 16 teams or something
if you're
at
lucky.
some point. Yeah. So, I mean, that's where we're going. But if that's what it's kind of like the LIV Tour too. If that's kind of what the market will, I guess, support at some point, even though it's not really a market-based endeavor, it doesn't sound like. That's might be where we be. But hey, we've got to pay players. Maybe start paying some high school players too. I mean,
maybe start paying people that are doing the show. Not you.
The check.
Not you.
By the way,
we're not going to pay Nate.
You
won't even do the research.
To talk to you about the
Nate, did you look up those barrels?
No.
The guy is clutch. Same answer all the time. You know what you're getting. You know what you're getting.
Clutch, the barrels.
So I guess what we're saying is capitalism good.
Yes, capitalism.
Yes.
Good. Is this?
Where'd that come from?
Just like the Phil Hartman Frankenstein routine. Capitalism. Good.
I thought you meant what happened with him and his wife.
What happened?
Well, that was a good way to end the whole Saudi Arabia tie-in. People are going to think that we planned that out.
Perfect. That's a perfect way to
end
Saudi Arabia.
And for those of you in Saudi Arabia, can't wait to see your soccer league. That's Broad Street Radio. We'll see you next week.